I want to thank you, Chairman LaHood, and the panel witnesses for coming in to discuss this urgent matter. It is good to see my dear friend David Hanson here from the Buckeye State. We've known each other for probably close to 20 years now. And I do have it on firm authority from his wife that I can treat you as a hostile witness. So, it is critical that we ensure that the administration does not redefine the federal poverty line, which would result in rural Americans losing valuable federal dollars. I want to just go to a couple questions because I want you to expand upon it. And I missed your testimony, I read your testimony, but Perry County was one of those counties in Ohio that was kind of went through many different phases. It started with pottery and then went into coal. And so now they're right on the verge of kind of where the new Intel plant is and just the county right next to it. So, Mr. Hanson, many are advocating for increasing monetary aid and removing work incentives for lower income individuals and families. In your opinion, what would be the effect in your community and your work of trying to help individuals re-enter the workforce if work requirements and incentives were removed from federal aid?
Thank you for the question, Representative. I just think it would just be setting us backwards. We have to help people to, what I say, expand their circles of experience, to understand that there's this really pretty fabulous 21st century economy out there. If you're in Perry County and your uncle worked in coal, you don't understand that it's got a different set of challenges now for you to thrive. I believe that people are really up to those challenges, but helping people to understand, and these are small rural communities that are fairly isolated. They don't understand what the opportunities are. They're not like us reading the newspapers and saying, oh my gosh, this is a fabulous landing that's happening in the state. The Intel plant, so the traditional coal mining world, solid workers, and I knew the 200 that were laid off from Buckingham, which is the last mine that was closed in Perry County. Any manufacturer would love to have them because they understood safety. Yet it was just such a different world because they really didn't have any certification. Nothing could be transferred because they worked within the mine. They knew how to use large, heavy equipment, but they'd still have to go back to a 6-month journey to get a heavy equipment license for anywhere else. Well, Intel is going to be offering 3,000 manufacturing jobs, and I talked to Perry County people about that. It's not coding in a basement. It's what you would like to do otherwise. And if you know Perry County, it's like a lot of rural America. It's open, it's outdoors, you live on 15 acres at least, you know how to fix a tractor and all that kind of stuff. This is something that they would like to have once they understand it. But you need the incentives, you need all kinds of things. The incentives complement what we do with outreach. When we try to hire social workers now, they have to be engaging. They have to be willing to look people in the eye. They have to be able to be friendly. They have to be willing to sit out in a parking lot of a Dollar General and say, hey, can I talk to you about what we can do for you? So you can see that we're trying all that we can. And, if the eligibility is decreased, that just means, the people that we're talking about who would kind of be the 200 that I mentioned in my testimony, they're not made any better off by that change at all.
And to that, David, the other thing that people don't seem to understand is when you said those 200 people that were laid off from the Buckingham mine, and I knew many of them personally myself. For every one coal mining job in a county, there are 4 spinoff jobs. So while you may have had 200 people that were affected, that number obviously goes up to 800 people that were affected in Perry County. Real quickly, because I'm going to run out of time, do you feel that this is the best strategy to uplift people from poverty and break the generational grip of economic insecurity by having these work incentives?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely do.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Well, friends, I have breaking news to share with you this Wednesday. The Federal Reserve has just announced major changes that will be made to banks and debit cards. You will also need to keep an eye on your mailbox, as new inflation relief checks are expected to be deposited and mailed very soon. Dear friends, I'll be going over how you can find out if you qualify for these payments. So please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this Friday and every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. State officials say that more than $900 million in rebates will go out to Virginia taxpayers in the coming weeks. The tax rebates were included in the long overdue budget legislation that the Virginia General Assembly passed in September. Governor Glenn Youngkin said, "The rebates are an important step going into the holiday season to help Virginians keep more of their hard-earned money for gas, groceries, and essentials. If you owed and paid taxes in 2022, you could receive a rebate. The rebates are based on a person's tax liability, the amount of taxes you owe on your taxable income for the year, minus any credits, deductions, or subtractions." The Taxation Department has an online lookup tool where taxpayers can go to see if they'll receive a rebate. People who still have not filed their 2022 income taxes have until November 1st to file and be eligible to receive a rebate. But if you've already filed your 2022 taxes, no action is needed. One thing to note is that rebates will be reduced or withheld from taxpayers who owe money to certain government agencies and institutions. Individual filers will receive up to $200, and married couples who filed joint returns will receive up to $400. The exact amount depends on if you already owe money to the government. If you owe more than the amount of your rebate, the Virginia Department of Taxation will send you a letter explaining the use of your rebate towards that debt. If you received a tax refund by direct deposit this year, you will likely receive your rebate by direct deposit in the same bank account. All other eligible taxpayers will receive their rebates by paper check in the mail. Most rebates are expected to be issued by early November. The state is issuing the rebates in order that taxpayers filed their returns. Today, the Federal Reserve proposed lowering the fees that banks can charge retailers for processing debit card transactions. Experts say this is a win for merchants who have long complained these swipe fees were too high and negatively affected consumers. But the move announced is a potential blow to big banks that issue credit cards, as well as giant credit card companies Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, which would take in less revenue if these fees go down. These charges, also known as interchange fees, are paid by retailers, supermarkets, convenience stores, gasoline stations, and online merchants when consumers shop with their debit cards. Banks that issue the cards pocket the revenue made from the fees, which are charged to the merchants. The Fed gained more power over these fees in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. The central bank can lower the cap if it finds that the cost of processing payments decline, but has not done so until now. Today, the average debit card transaction is $50. This new proposed cap would total 17 cents on the average $50 transaction. That is down from 24 cents on the same transaction today. The plan is the latest in a series of new rules that the Fed and other banking regulators have proposed or finalized in recent months that will affect how financial institutions operate, ranging from how much capital banks should hold to how they calculate climate risks, to new evaluations of how banks lend to low-income communities. So banks are gearing up for a fight on swipe fees. Last week, 9 major banking trade groups, including the American Bankers Association, sent Fed Chair Jerome Powell a letter warning the central bank not to propose cutting the rates, setting the stage for the industry to challenge in court any final rule. Despite the loss, retailers have continued to argue that the existing rates produce revenue to the card-issuing banks that significantly exceed the reasonable and proportional requirement in the law. The Supreme Court agreed last month to hear a case that would force the Fed to lower the swipe fees. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dearest friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.